Heyo, welcome back for another video. Today, we got a crazy one in mind. Everyone's been using the Commando grip on all ARs for stability and recoil control. But what you don't know is there's a better attachment out there other than the Commando. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. If you're back again, I much appreciate your support. So I got the Kilo typical class. I'm going to show you 3 guns today with how the difference of the attachments go for you. So VLK, mono, the long barrel, Commando, and 60 round mag. It's a typical Kilo setup that everyone's been rocking. I'm going to show you the pattern that this projects compared to replacing the Commando with something better. So the Kilo goes a slightly up to the left. So if we aim at this single dot here, I'm not holding any aiming, it's just going by itself. You're going to notice it slightly goes up, goes horizontal, and then vertical again, slightly to the left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this setup, replace the Commando, and we're going to put the rubberized grip tape. So this also improves recoil control by a lot. For accuracy, it does take away aiming stability, but if you notice on the Commando, you lose movement speed, and that's big in Warzone. So if we take that off, put the rubberized grip tape, we're going to increase that movement speed, and according to the tape, we're still supposed to have good recoil control. So let's give it another whirl, standing about the same spot. Again, I'm not moving the analog 6 at all. You're going to notice with the VLK, it's more consistent with the pattern that's going up as it goes up a little bit more. But you can hold it a little bit better, and you increase that movement speed. Now with my loadouts, I use the canted hybrid with the Kilo. So still using the grip tape. Again, I didn't touch anything. Look at that pattern compared to the VLK and the VLK with Commando. So I'm using the canted hybrid with the grip tape. And if I go back, let's say I take the tape off, put the Commando on. Now I have the Commando. So you're going to notice it held steady here for quite a bit. But with the Commando, it did go up slightly higher. And you notice I had more jump. So here's the grip with the canted. Here's the Commando with the hybrid. And it jumped up a little bit more. As you see, it's slightly higher. So with this pattern, which is the best out of all 4 of them, you get more movement speed, more recoil control. The only thing you're losing out on is aiming stability, which aiming stability is the sway. You see it swaying just slightly. So you probably, it's not, once you're shooting and you control it, it's not even a big worry. So the sight does change how the attachments work. As you see here, this is the VLK with the Commando, and this is the VLK without the Commando and with the rubberized grip tape. So with the Commando performed better, but with the hybrid sight I have now, the grip tape here performed way better than the Commando. And as you see, this pattern was the best out of all of them. So the next gun we're going to check out is the M13. And again, a typical setup people have been rocking: VLK, Tempest, Mono, Ranger, and 60 round mag. People run the Commando on this too, and I'll show you both of them. See the difference there. The big thing with this class is if you run the VLK with the Ranger, you lose out on a ton of aiming. See how slow that is? It's a dinosaur. So this one goes up to the right, and you're gonna notice it goes way higher than the Helo does. So Ranger foregrip and VLK, it's pretty consistent, vertical to the right, diagonal, and you can control that very easily to make it so it doesn't move at all. Again, I'm not touching the analog sticks, it's just going by itself. So now I'm going to put the Ranger foregrip on. Or, I'm sorry, the Commando. Starting the next circle over. So you notice the Commando with the VLK, it's same pattern, but it goes up higher. That's a massive difference. But you do get more aiming speed. See how a little bit quicker that is compared to the Ranger? So it just depends. If you're using the M13 long, medium range, the Ranger's going to be better for you. But the M13's not a long range AR. It's a close to medium range, so you don't need it. And then let's see what we do when we take the Commando off and put the rubberized grip tape on. So again, rubberized grip tape, you increase movement speed because you're taking away the Commando, and the grip tape is supposed to have better recoil control. So with that pattern, you're going to say the Commando's better because it's more consistent moving up to the right. It's about the same height, roughly. The grip tape is a little bit less with these two random bullets. But you're going to notice it had more of a vertical consistency. So let's take the VLK off, and we're going to put the hollow sight on it, keeping the grip tape, and see what happens there. And as you notice, look at the pattern of the Kilo compared to the M13. If you can control the M13, you're going to get a higher fire rate, where you're going to kill people quicker at medium range than the Kilo. But long range, the Kilo is going to win. So hollow sight with the rubber grip tape, you're going to notice it's a huge increase to the vertical before it starts slanting. So here is the vertical, and if I just go over horizontally, look at the difference. Big difference. And here using a hollow sight, so you can aim in really quick for close and medium range. And that, like I said, the M13 is not a long range AR, so you don't need the VLK or a hybrid or anything else on it like that. The hollow's perfectly fine. You see the performance was actually better. Same diagonal pattern as these ones, but it had more vertical consistency. And then I'll show, if we took the rubberized grip tape off and put the Commando on, you're going to notice the pattern for the diagonal a little bit straighter than the rubberized grip tape is. The vertical, though, goes up a little bit more with the rubberized grip tape. But they're so close that it really doesn't matter which one you put on in this case. However, again, if you have the Commando on, you lose movement speed. If you take that off for the rubberized grip tape, you get that mobility, you still get the same recoil control, you just lose out in aiming stability, which really isn't a big deal, especially with the hollow sight that you're shooting medium to close range. With this setup, the rubberized grip tape and the hollow sight is better than a VLK hybrid with a Commando, with just how the gun performs and how you're using the gun. So you have to think how you're using the gun. The Kilo medium long range M13, it's probably the best AR medium range, and it's good at close as well. So the last gun we're going to look at is the M13. I'm sorry, not the M13, the M4. And I'm going to use this board as comparison. Now the M4, I'm using mono, M16, Commando, 60 round, and tac laser. Again, a typical class for the M4. And I'm going to show you what is better than using the tac laser in this situation. So M4 is perfect for close and medium range. Long range, it's not so much because of the bounce on it. Again, I'm not touching anything. I'm just letting the gun do its own thing, and you're gonna notice the kick on the M4 is a lot. But you see the vertical is really good on the M4 with these attachments, and then from there it just goes way off. So by these shots you're using about a third of the clip. Most of the time you have the person dead, unless they're at medium to long range. But if we switch those attachments, let's say we take the tac laser off, which the tac laser gives you aim down speed, aiming stability, and aim walking steadiness, but you give away your position with the laser. I hate giving my position away, especially with lasers. So if we switch it with the rubberized grip tape, which still gives recoil control, you only lose aiming stability, which, as we discussed, doesn't matter with how much the sway is. We go to the same spot, and we'll aim about here. Again, we don't have the laser on, so we're hiding, concealing our position. And as you see, it's almost the same pattern, but when it gets to its vertical peak and goes diagonal, it's actually more consistent than this one where it goes down and up and down and up a little bit. It's a more consistent diagonal. So with these attachments, you're concealing your position from lasers. So if you're going in a building or up staircase, if you don't have an MP5, MP7, or Origin, unfortunately nowadays, you're going to be able to hide your position as you're aiming in. When you're out in the fields or downtown, the roads, the lasers don't matter as much, but it only takes one time for someone to give away your position and you're dead. I think this is the best attachment class with the M4 because you have good aiming, speed, and the M4 again is not used for long range. It's a close to medium range gun. If you want long range, you gotta be mounted. So let's see if I can mount here. You know, it's a consistent moving up to the right at that point. So these attachments I feel are better on these guns than what everyone's saying. It's great to get attachments from streamers and pro players, and that's great. But you really should come into private match and see how each one's work, because each attachment work a little bit different for each gun. For example, these attachments I have on here are not going to be better than an MP5 with, I don't know why I have operator grip on it, with a Merc foregrip though. You know, so they work totally different with how you're using the weapon in that situation. So the thing you have to keep in mind when making attachments on your guns is think about your gameplay. How are you going to use the gun? And you can't have a gun that does everything. That's long range, medium, close. It's a sniper unless you have a Bruin from before they updated it, or the Growl before the update. Now all the guns are pretty balanced. So you really have to think, what's your game style? How are you going to play? You're going to be rushing close to medium range, or do you want to snipe people and laser them from afar? You just have to think about those and then put the attachments on it. But these attachments for the M4 overall, I think, is the best. For the M13, I would put these ones on. This M13 class is, in my opinion, makes this gun the best medium range AR in the game. You can completely annihilate someone you see that's out in the open in a blink of an eye. But long range, you're going to have to tap that trigger. You're just going to tickle. You're going to tickle them a little bit, and that's okay. If they're in the open, you're going to get them, I promise you. This class I've been using the past few days, I've consistently been dropping 20 bombs with it. It's been pretty impressive. And then the kilo setup, I always come back to the hybrid sight. It's really good. The mono, long barrel. I don't use the Commando, but I do use the rubberized grip tape in place of it. And it is way, way better. More movement speed, and you have a better pattern that doesn't go as high for you as well. It's the route I would go. If you don't like the hybrid sight, I would recommend going to the hollow. The hollow is pretty good as well. I can show you that pattern real quick. The only reason I go back and forth between the hollows, so this is the VLK Commando, VLK with rubberized grip tape, the hybrid with the grip tape, rubberized tape, and then the hybrid with the Commando. So again, we established the hybrid with the grip tape without the Commando is the best pattern. So I'll just start right here. This is with the hollow, back up a little where I was before. So you're going to notice with the hollow, it goes up a little bit more vertical. It doesn't have to hold it down. There's a little bit more jump from your initial couple bullets going up, but it's very, very consistent compared to the hybrid sight with the grip tape. So it just depends. If you're going to be using the kilo for long to medium range consistently, I would recommend using a hybrid sight. If you're going to use the kilo for medium to close range, kind of like the M13 setup, the hollow sight is a nice replacement for it. Alright guys, I appreciate your viewing today. Now you know Commando, grip, not so good all the time. Don't always look at what streamers or pro players are using. They overall can use any gun to be good, but you have to formulate, again, the attachments to your style, the gun that works good for you. Don't be using guns just because other people are using them. Find a gun that is just natural for you. Either it's the AMAX, the AN, the Kilo, the M13, MP5, whatever it is. Find whatever gun that's just immediately just combines with your play style and build off of it. Practice with it, keep going, and then you're going to perfect it for sure. Appreciate your viewing. Again, if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, and comment. If you're coming back again, I really appreciate your support. Have an awesome day.